What it do, what it do? Welcome back, Sour Crew. It's your boy Soul, aka My Name's Not Lemon. Welcome back to another episode of Melancholia N Haloes. Welcome. It is episode 10. For today's episode, I'm super excited for this episode. So I just happened to come across a video by the Gem Goddess. She does tarot and she talks about spirituality, energy work, and things like that. And it was a collaboration with Master Sri S-R-I Akara Dahana, Akardhana. And they did a collaboration, two videos together. One was talking about how to meditate and a proper way to meditate so that way you would be able to manifest all of your desires without even having to consciously manifest. And another video was about how to attract your soulmate. And so primarily I'm going to be talking about the video on how to attract your soulmate. Now, we're not necessarily going to go into soulmates and things like that, but the things they were going over on how to attract your soulmate was extremely interesting to me. And I'm super excited to talk about it. So the video that I'm gonna be, the video that I got all this information from, if you want to watch it and get this information in a more concise, easier manner, I'm gonna link it in the I'm going to link it in the description of the Spotify episode. And I'm also going to link it in the description of the YouTube video. So you'll be able to click it and watch it. It's a short video. It's very informative. And I think it's going to be fun to play around with and see if it's something that works for you in your life. And if it's something that you can incorporate into your life. And if it works, let me know because your boy want to know. So we're going to be going over a couple of things today. But let's go over how to manifest your soulmate. Now, what is a soulmate? A soulmate, I think we hear in mass media and pop culture, is your significant other. The other piece of you, right? Well, a soulmate is someone that you are supposed to, destined by fate, by design, are supposed to meet in this lifetime. Because they help you with your life journey, your life purpose, whatever you are here for, to learn, to acquire the knowledge that you need. This person, this individual, maybe it could be animals, I'm not sure, but this organism is supposed to help you and guide you to where you need to go. That's a soulmate. So it does not have to be a significant other, a lover, a romantic partner. It could be a friend, a family member, an acquaintance, right? Someone that projects you into the direction that you are meant to go in. So, if you want to manifest your soulmate, you need to vibrate at the same frequency as that you want to attract. So what does that mean, right? So if you tuned into last week's episode 9, I talked about tarot and spirituality and how I view spirituality. And I mentioned that I am very about energy, vibrations, frequencies, right? And so when you want to manifest something, it's about energy. You're putting out into the universe, you're putting out that energy that you want to attract. Same like energies attract each other, right? So if you are happy-go-lucky, if you are joyful, you're going to attract that type of energy. Remember, misery loves company, right? So if you are surrounded by sadness, grief, negative emotions and energy, then you will attract that to you, whether it be people, situations, whatever it may be, right? So if you are trying to attract a certain type of person, a certain soulmate, you want to radiate that same energy. So those frequencies can attract each other, right? So if you are looking for someone who is outgoing and lively and extrovert, if you yourself are not any of those things, and so you would like to meet someone who is, so that can maybe get you out of your comfort zone, out of your bubble, you actually have to do your best to do the things that you are looking for someone to help you do. Does that make sense? So if you're an introvert, you don't like going out, you don't like going places, you don't like meeting people, and in your imagination you are conjuring up a person that does do those things, so then they can help you do that. How are you going to find them if you're not radiating that same type of energy, right? You're going to attract people that are like you, that are introverted, that are shy, that aren't good socially, right? So if you yourself take the steps, baby steps, to go out more, drive more places, try to meet new people, whether it's just like a hi or bye type of thing, whether it's just interacting with society in general, you're gonna start releasing that type of energy, and you're gonna start attracting it. Therefore, attracting the type of soulmate or person that you are looking for, or that you're imagining, right? Essentially, you need to become your own soulmate. If we're talking in terms of love, right? You need to become love. Like, whoa, what do you mean by that? Right? So, if we're talking primarily by like romantic soulmates, or you know what? Let's just say soulmates in general, because a soulmate is someone that you have unconditional love for, whether that it be romantic or platonic, whether they be a lover or a friend. So, what do I mean by you need to become love? You need to become the energy that you want to attract. Again, I'm just reiterating myself, right? If you are looking for love, but you do not love yourself, how can you expect anybody else to love you? Once you love yourself, and you treat yourself with love and respect, people see that. And they're attracted to that. And therefore, you get, like-minded people. If you are sad, depressed, gloomy, self-deprecating, do you think you're going to attract people that love themselves and respect themselves and hype themselves up? No. Why is someone like that going to want to be around someone like you? They'll avoid people like you, because then you'll bring them down. You guys aren't vibrating at the same frequency. They're vibrating at a frequency up here that is telling them to stay in good spirits, to be optimistic. And you're vibrating at a lower frequency that's telling you to be pessimistic, to be sad, to wallow in self-deprecating natures. They're different energies. So you're going to attract people that are comfortable in that energy. Therefore, people like you that you're already in. And it's the same cycle over and over and over again. But if you learn to love yourself, and you start radiating that energy, and people could see it, because people can see it. How you talk about yourself, how you treat yourself, how you present yourself, how you treat others. And if they want that and they feel like they are the same, they'll gravitate towards you. And if they can point that out within you, and they want to manipulate you or take advantage of you, or take what you have, take what you're working on, you'll be able to clock that. Because you yourself know that you deserve better than that. You'll be able to pinpoint it like, wait, I don't know, you're off. Something's off about your vibe. Something's off about how you be talking. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm getting red flags. And you know to avoid that person. But if you don't love yourself, if you don't respect yourself, how would you ever know how to clock that? And if you're getting taken advantage of and manipulated, that's going to further your sadness, further your gloom. Even if you don't really know what's causing it, subconsciously you know that people are preying on you. Love attracts love. What you radiate, the energy you put out, is the energy you will attract, bring towards yourself. we usually think we are lacking love and therefore wanting to manifest it, right? But if we love ourselves and do for ourselves what we would like to do others to do for us, we manifest that. Which is what I was just saying, right? Let me put it into simpler terms. So why is it that we manifest people into our lives that are no good or hold traits that we find undesirable? Which is what I was just mentioning before, right? Why is it that we keep manifesting the same person over and over again? Is it something we are lacking and being taught to heal? Now, what I think about this personally is that whenever you attract quote unquote toxic people into your lives, which puts you in a toxic relationship, it's about learning a lesson. Whether that be learning self-worth, learning to set boundaries, which is just AKA a reflection of yourself. So what do I mean by that, right? Let's take it back a little bit. So why is it that we manifest people into our lives that are no good or hold traits that are undesirable? I personally feel as though when someone comes into your life and you see a personality trait, a characteristic, actions that they make, thoughts that they produce, and it doesn't really sit well with you, I truly believe that you have to really think as to why that is. Why are they rubbing you the wrong way? Why do you feel as though what they do makes you uncomfortable or angry or exhibits a negative emotion within you? Clock that. Think about what that is. Truly think about why that is. And then you'll start to understand the roots. And it comes from within. When someone triggers you, when you get triggered by a situation, by an outside force, it is not that person or situation's fault that you were triggered. Because that trigger comes from an emotion within yourself. And as we know, triggering is not something positive. So therefore, if it's coming from within you, then it means that there's something within you that needs to be healed. So when you attract these negative people or negative situations into your life, if you find yourself into an undesirable situation, think about why that is. And once you find out the issue, the roots, you could tackle it head on. Heal it, fix it, and then you will never be in that situation again. You will never allow yourself to be in that situation again. Because once it comes back into your life, you're like, no. I've done that before, many times before. I know how this is going to go down, and I'm not going to allow myself to be a victim of it again. And if we keep manifesting the same person over and over and over, yes, it's a different person, but it feels like it's the same situation. I'm being verbally abused by this person. We end up breaking up. I get into a new relationship. Verbally abused by them too. We end up separating. I make a new friend. Verbally abused by them. And then you just start to think, am I the problem? Is it something I'm doing? Because these are different people, different situations, different scenarios, but it's the same outcome every single time. But it's not my fault. True. Maybe technically it's not your fault. But if it keeps happening to you over and over and over again, by different people, different times, different situations, the only common denominator, the only common variable is you. So yeah, these situations might not be your fault. It may be things happening to you. But if it keeps happening to you, if it's a repeated pattern, the only constant is you. Therefore, you are doing something that is allowing this to happen. So what is it? What is causing you to be in these verbally abusive relationships over and over and over again? Whether they be romantic or platonic. Once you understand that, and you understand there is something within you that you are doing that is making you fall victim to the same pattern of behavior, you'll be able to fix that. And then get yourself out of that cycle. So that's why these people keep coming into your lives. That's why these situations that are super similar keep happening. Because you haven't learned that lesson yet. And once you learn that lesson, then that cycle stops. Because you're able to take a step back, understand the situation for what it is, see the red flags, see those situations start before it begins, and you get the fuck out of there. Period. You could also think of these toxic relationships as being a mirror or reflection of yourself. If you find yourself always in some type of negative emotion, negative situation, how is that a reflection of you? I know we've heard this a lot before. You are the people you hang around with. So who are these people around you? What is it that you don't like about these people? What is it that rubs you the wrong way? What are the traits, characteristics, behaviors, actions that they're exhibiting that you do not like? Because you can sit there and judge everybody else around you, but it's hard to look yourself in the mirror and judge yourself. So take a look at everyone around you, judge them, and then take a look at yourself and see if you're exhibiting these same behaviors, just in different forms that you're not even realizing. And if you are, fix that shit, because you're vibrating at the same frequency. You're giving out the same energy that they are. That's why you're attracting them. That's why they're in your lives. Once you switch up, all of a sudden you're different. You've changed. You're not the same. You acting brand new. And what happens? They dip. Fuck you, you fake ass bitch. Who is you? And they leave. And good riddance. Because you're a better person. And they clocked it. They see it. They may not understand it. But you're now vibrating at a different frequency. At a higher frequency than they are. And they don't like it. So they'll try to hold you back. And don't let yourself fall back. So summarizing all of that. The universe will send you anything and anyone that will now help you become the vibration that you're looking for. These people and situations will teach you and show you how to reach the vibration you need to attract said soulmate. So if you're not attracting the soulmate that you want, the friends that you want, the lovers that you want, you're going to be given situations, friendships, relationships that are going to teach you how to elevate your vibration, how to elevate your frequency. It's going to make you reflect on yourself to know what it is you don't like about yourself, what it is you're having problems within yourself, why it is that you keep on being in these cycles and repeating patterns, so that you can understand it, see it, fix it, and therefore not be a victim to these same things happening over and over again. A lot of people think that you need to be perfect to find a soulmate. That's not true. You may simply need to work on something within yourself that is blocking you from attracting this soulmate. So, for example, we all have a certain celebrity, maybe digital content creator, influencer, whatever it may be, that we admire, that we like. And we like them for a specific reason. Maybe they're like super bubbly and they're outgoing and they're a people person and they're social. And you know you're the exact opposite. So you're like, man, I like them. Like, if we met in real life, we would get along and we would do this, that, and another. Do you really think so, though? Like, if you were to see them in person, meet them in person, do you really think they'll fuck with your energy? If you guys are that different? For what reason? Why would someone who makes friends easily, has a lot of friends, is able to communicate well, a good communicator, is happy and bubbly and optimistic, why would they want to hang around with someone that's pessimistic negative, a Debbie Downer, has no friends, and always talks negatively? Why? For what reason? What are they benefiting from that? Because it sounds like you're benefiting a lot from them. They'll probably introduce you to a lot of new people. You could probably make new friends. They're probably the one hyping you up. Talking about, no, it's going to be okay. Think of it from this point of view. Nah, keep going. And what are you offering them? Nah, you shouldn't do that. Because X, Y, and Z. It's not going to work out. Why are you friends with all these people? You only need a select few. You only need me. What the fuck kind of shit is that? Ain't nobody want to be around that fucking type of energy. That's some fuck shit. You're never going to attract those people that you want to attract. You're only going to attract like-minded people and people in the same type of energy field that you are in. So, what does it mean to work on these sides of yourself that are attracting negativity towards your life, that are making your life a little bit more negative than you'd like them to be? Do you hear all those sirens and stuff? I'm sorry. I apologize. But this is great transition for the sirens that are shadow work. So what is shadow work? Shadow work is things about yourself that need improvement because they are affecting your they are affecting your life in a negative way. Stabbing yourself in the back. Oop, oop, oop. And oop. So doing the inner work, you're able to love yourself more by building confidence, self-worth, self-respect. You're building your vibration and will attract better relationships in your life because of it. So like I had told you before, if you have self-respect for yourself, right? Self-respect. If you have self-love, if you have self-confidence, you can see that. When you walk up to someone, when you're walking down the street, when you're speaking to someone, they can clock that shit, whether it be subconsciously or consciously. If they themselves are trying to work on those things, they can see it in other people. If subconsciously they see it, they just kind of feel the vibe, the energy, like, damn, this person really feels themselves. Like, damn, they talking with a lot of fucking confidence. You can see it, you can feel it. Always. How they walk, how they talk, how they present themselves, how they carry themselves, right? When someone is slouching and, maybe covered up in a lot of clothing, when it's hot as fuck outside, maybe how they wear their hair, how they groom themselves, their hygiene, tells a lot about a person. When you're depressed, which is a clinical fucking disease, it's hard to do those things. And you can tell. When you're just a lazy fucking person, you can tell. But when you take a few minutes out of your day to wash your face, to brush your hair, to put fucking gel in it, to brush your fucking teeth, to make sure your clothes aren't wrinkly, you present a different type of energy. And you present yourself differently to people, which will then attract different people towards you. If you come up with wrinkly ass clothes, the same clothes every single fucking day, hair not did, face oily, or too dry, do you really think you're going to attract the person with perfect skin, done hair, a fashion sense, smells good, looks good? Why? Why would you attract that person into your life? What about you screams, we would get along, we would vibe well? No, wouldn't you attract people that are just like you? That also have wrinkly ass clothes? That also don't wash their face? That don't have their hair did? That wake up, get up, go to work or go to school? Because that's what they're comfortable with. That's what they know. And they see that in you and they're like, oh shit, we would get along because we're the same. right? Same frequency, same energies attract each other. People go towards and gravitate towards what they're comfortable with. So you could think of shadow work, right? So you could think of the light as being your conscious self, and the shadow being your unconscious self. So shadow work is looking at your unconscious self. Like I said before about getting triggered. If you notice you're getting triggered by someone or something and it's making you angry or causing you to repress a lot of emotions that are negatively impacting you, it's time to reflect in and look within you. Because it's not that an outside force is triggering you, it's that there's something within you that is causing you to be triggered. That thing within you that's being triggered needs healing. Shadow work is making your shadow light. A shadow's dark. It's heavy. It weighs you down. Light is light. When you think of like a shadow, I think it comes with more of a negative connotation. It does feel heavy. It feels dense, dark. You can't see anything in there. But when you think of light, it feels airy. It feels flowy. It's bright. So if you are flowy, light, and bright, and that's in your personality, it's in the way you speak, it's how you move, rather than dense, heavy, you can see that difference. You can already see the imagery and the pictures in your head and the visualizations in your head with these two contrasts. So if you're the light personality, do you really think you're going to attract the dark personality? No. Why would you? When there's someone that's like super bubbly and fucking all over the place and energetic, you know, there's some people that are more calm, maybe chill, maybe they like the muted colors, the dark colors, they like the dark humor, they like the violent stuff. Why would they be attracted to that person that's super bubbly and energetic all the time, that likes the bright colors, that likes the fucking slapstick comedy, the corny stuff? We all knew, or we were that person in high school, and we were judging the bubbly person. When you surround yourself with that type of energy, you know, the Game of Thrones, the Dexter, Attack on Titans, and that's all you consume, and that's all you vibe with, do you really think that's not going to have an effect on your personality and how you see the world, on how you see others, on how you see and take in situations? If you're surrounded with so much gore and violence and negativity and terror, anxiety, depression, sadness, you really don't think that's going to have an effect on you? If you don't have a balance? If you can't go from watching something like SpongeBob to fucking, I don't know, I was going to say Attack on Titans again. You know, Attack on Titans being about titans, like these super big beings that ravage society and murder people. And it's super fucking gruesome. If you don't have a type of balance to weigh the bad and the good and the ugly, with the good, the positive, and the light, do you really think you're going to have a balance on life and a balance on the way you think and the balance on the way you process things? So this video talked about manifesting, right? How to manifest your soulmate. And it talked about shadow work. Working on yourself and your vibration and your frequency so that you could manifest and attract like-mindedness towards you. Now, how about manifesting instantly? I think a lot of us want things instantaneously, quickly, right? Right now, right? So let's think about manifesting instantly. Why is it so difficult? And why it's not really a thing? Why is it super rare? Let's think about a video game. If you get everything in a game too quickly, you get bored of playing it. Why are you going to be playing this game when you already have everything that you were supposed to work towards? Those were your goals and your rewards, and it showed your progress. If you already have it all from the jump, what's going to keep you playing? You're going to get bored. You've already experienced all there was to experience. Same thing about life. If you get something really easily, you take it for granted. And God forbid, but you may end up self-sabotaging because the worth was never there. It was worthless to you. You already had it. You got it. There was no work towards it that made you appreciate it. And so therefore you kind of throw it and toss it to the side, self-sabotaging yourself, self-sabotaging your opportunities, your life, because you never appreciated it in the first place. But if you have to work towards it, if you know what it means, what it takes to get there, then you're more likely to hold it close to you. You're more likely to appreciate it. You're more likely to hold it in high regards. If right out of high school, maybe right out of college, you got a really good paying job, and then you ended up getting into a relationship, and that relationship was causing you to move maybe to a different state, a different country, a different region, and you had to leave your job behind for a lower paying job, what's to say that you won't be more likely to be like, fuck it, this relationship, I love them, I'm going to be with them forever, and you leave that job. And then the relationship ends, and then you're left with a shitty job, and you can't go back to your other job. They're not hiring, or they don't want you back. You've been replaced. You didn't appreciate that job before, but it took you a while to get a relationship, let's say, so you appreciated that relationship more because the job was so easy to get. And then when the relationship ended, you thought you could just go back and get that same job, the same pay. It doesn't work that way. You sabotaged yourself. Now you have to learn what it means, what it takes to get a position like that again, to get a pay like that again. It's not easy. The workforce is difficult. You were blessed, you were lucky. You had the opportunity to get in quickly, and you fucked it up. And so people want to manifest love, relationships, friendships that quickly. They want the relationship to be full and fulfilled, and they want to get married, and they want to be stable super quickly. But the journey of building a relationship or a love romantic partnership, that story, the build up to it, the little things you experience together, the time and experience you guys experience together, is the beauty behind it all. All the little things, getting to know each other, spending time with one another, is what makes the relationship what it is. It's how you truly get to know a person. And that's what brings unconditional love. We are all looking for unconditional love. We want to be loved without boundaries. We want to be loved without restriction. We want to be loved for who we are, for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, in happiness and in sadness. We want to be loved. That's unconditional love. If you rush into a relationship with someone, whether it be romantic or platonic meaning like friendships, you don't experience those things. You don't experience the little things. You don't have the time to really get to know each other. Likes, dislikes, irks, things that make them comfortable, how they act when nobody's around. That takes time to really get to know that about a person. And so if you rush things and you fall in love with someone, platonic or romantic, for the things that you see quickly. Once you start seeing who they are when they're alone, once you start seeing who they are when they're extremely comfortable, you might not like those things. Which means you are loving someone based on restrictions. It is not unconditional. It has conditions. And once you see those conditions, there's conflict. There's resistance. You don't love me for me. You don't appreciate me for me. You don't know the real me. And then what happens to the relationship? It strains. It could crumble. It could fall. But when you love someone unconditionally, and you know the little things about them, you've accepted those things about them, you appreciate them and love them for who they are, then the relationship is stronger. It lasts longer. And no matter what comes your guys' way, you can withstand it. Because unconditional means no matter how ugly it gets, as long as it's not harmful or hurtful to yourself, them, or others, you can work through it with them. Now, going into these restrictions, this is something I have never thought of. Love languages. I am barely really figuring out love languages within the past maybe 2 to 3 years. And I thought love languages were extremely important. You're supposed to find people who appreciate and understand and are accepting and respectful of your love languages, and vice versa. So that way you can build a better relationship, and you can build a healthy foundation for your relationship with understanding those. Now, what are love languages? Love languages are certain quote-unquote languages that people have that make them feel loved and how they give love. For example, my love languages would be quality time. When I spend time with someone, I just have them around me, I feel loved, I feel accepted, I feel wanted. I could be sitting on the couch on my phone, they can be sitting somewhere else playing fucking video games, and since we're just in the same vicinity, I feel loved and accepted and whole, worthwhile. And I feel like this relationship is blossoming. We don't even have to be talking, just being around each other. Acts of service. So that's like someone doing something for you. I appreciate that. You're taking a load off my back. That shows love. Because I've always had money issues. Gifts. Like receiving gifts. Whether it be extremely small or large. I really appreciate that. You're going to spend your own hard-working money on me? That means a lot. Those are love languages. Some examples of love languages. But this video pointed out that love languages are conditions, restrictions. I am only seeing love from a person if it's through quality time or acts of service or gift giving. But how about everything else? I am already starting off a relationship off of conditions and restrictions. And if those conditions and restrictions are not met, I do not feel loved. That is not unconditional. Those are conditional. I never thought about that before. I thought love languages were were something that everyone had and lived by for the rest of their lives. But that's not true. If I loved someone unconditionally, then it wouldn't matter if we couldn't spend a lot of time together. I would still love them and appreciate them and respect them. If they didn't buy me gifts, it doesn't mean they don't love me. If they didn't do things for me, it doesn't mean they don't respect me, that they don't want to show their love. And it's not just because that's not their specific love language. It's that those are conditions that shouldn't have to be met in an unconditional loving relationship. You should be able to love someone without them catering to you for these specific needs. Is it not enough that you guys are able to communicate openly, honestly, lovingly? Is it not enough that they are there for you in times of need? Is it not enough that every time you text or call, they're there to pick up? Why is it that they have to spend so much time with you? Why is it that they have to buy you things? Why is it that they have to do things to show you that they care? Why do they have to meet your conditions in order to show love? And even as I'm saying this, in my mind, and I'm trying to think, like, how does a relationship work then? What is this unconditional love? How does this work? How do you get that? So if I like spending a lot of time with someone and they don't spend that time with me, and I feel lonely or I'm craving that love and affection, how do I get past that? I know for myself, it no longer has to be in person. I could do it through text. I can do it through FaceTime. Is that me breaking down my conditions now? That it no longer has to be in person? That I no longer have to see them all the time or talk to them all the time? I feel as though with a lot of friends I have now, I could now go days to weeks not speaking. Maybe interacting every here and there. But then when we do get together, when we do speak, it feels like no time has passed. Is that me breaking down my conditions? I still feel loved by them. We still have our moments. And I love that. And I appreciate that. And I respect that. I am very, very comfortable being alone, staying alone, doing things on my own, being by myself. Yet, I can sit here and say that quality time is my love language, my main one. Yet, I'm not doing that with a lot of my friends. Yet, I still see them as close friends. I still love them and respect them and want them around. So is that me getting rid of these conditions to make it towards unconditional love? I never expect acts of service or gifts from people. Ever. Nor do I get them, really. Maybe food, like people will buy me food. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, thanks. Like, hell, you motherfucking, yeah, like, I appreciate that. Like, spending money on me, making me eat good. Like, thank you. Like, so is this me getting rid of those conditions? When I think about a romantic relationship, because this is all based on friendships. When I think about a romantic relationship, I've never been in one. But I'm thinking, am I going to treat them the same as I do my friends? Or am I going to hold these conditions, these restrictions? I'm not sure. Of course, spending time with myself, alone time, concentrating on myself, is that quality time with me and showing love to me. I do tend to want to buy things for myself, but don't. As you guys know from the previous episode, why that's a little difficult at the moment. But even when I did have the money, I wouldn't really. But when I would really like admire what I would buy and what I would get. And really hold on to that. Gift giving towards myself. Acts of service. Ooh, you hear that cough? My bad. Acts of service. I do things for myself and for others all the time. I'm a family man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to view love languages now. That's something that I would really like to hear from you guys. Do you guys have love languages that you abide by? With your friends, with your romantic partners? How do you view love languages? Are they super important to you? Do you hold those conditions and restrictions as absolute? And if you do you actually abide by them? Or do you just have that mentality and that thought that they are? So to get unconditional love, one must do away with love languages because they keep us in a box. Why? Love languages are a condition, and if you want unconditional love, you need to get rid of the conditions. If you only feel love when someone is buying you gifts or giving you quality time, you are creating conditional love, meaning love acquired by meeting certain conditions. You want to experience love in all forms, not just the forms that are your love language. And I think that is true. And the more you get to know someone, and the more you experience with someone, I think the more you're able to experience a lot of different forms of love. Do they pick your dishes up for you and wash them after you're done eating? Do they take your shoes off for you after a long day of work? When you come home, are the bed sheets always fresh, clean, and washed? Is there always food waiting for you at home? Does the house always smell good and clean? Do you always have freshly stocked toilet paper, body wash, soap, shampoo, and you never have to worry about it? It never even crossed your mind? Whenever you're sick, without skipping a beat, are they always bringing you some type of comfort food? Whenever they get off work, do they always come in hand with a special little treat for you, whether it be food, snacks, an object, an item? When you wake up in the morning, do you always get a good night or a good morning kiss? When you're out in public, do they hold your hand? Or do they walk close to you? Do they hold you close? When you're in bed, do they kind of touch you with a random part of their body because they just want to be touching you? Love can Love could come in all forms. It can be shown in many different ways. Everybody's different. The way they show love is different. And the only way you're going to be able to experience these different forms of love is to experience with a person. And it is to spend time with a person. And it is to really get to know a person and to be comfortable with them, and for them to be comfortable with you. And if there's conditions that you require to be met, and so that's all you're thinking about, and that's all you're thinking that you need to show love and affection, then how are you ever going to be able to clock and realize and to pinpoint these other forms of love? You guys may not talk every single day to someone, but what if they send you TikToks every single day? Is that not to show a form of love? I think you'd really find this funny. I think you'd really find this interesting. I want to share it with you. This is what I'm doing all day, every day. Is scrolling through TikTok for a little bit of time, to maybe a lot of time. And I want to share this with you because it's making me feel good. Is that not a form of love? May not be how you show love. It may not even be what you require, what you want or need. But how is it not just that special? So let's move on from the love languages. How and what can one do to start healing themselves and attracting the soulmate that they desire or deserve? Become your own soulmate. Do for yourself what you'd like to do with a soulmate, aka date yourself. An example: if you want to go out shopping, sightseeing, late night drives with a soulmate, do that for yourself. Once you do it for yourself and you enjoy your own company and enjoy these activities simply because they are enjoyable to you, you'll be able to attract someone who does the same. Therefore, you'll be able to be with someone that would want to do the same activities as you do because you both enjoy them individually, solo. Doing so, you'll start to make new decisions that you wouldn't do before, and therefore have more options for your intuition and the universe to guide you to different situations and people, which will then lead you to your soulmate. So if you want to go on late night drives And it takes you to different locations, different places. You stop at different places to eat, or different places to get out and shop, or to sightsee, window shop. You find different locations to work out at, to run, to take friends and family to. You then unlock new opportunities to meet new people. You then unlock new chances to run into someone. Therefore, unlocking more possibilities to meet soulmates, to meet new friends, to meet new lovers. Because you yourself are now doing these activities and these things you would like to do with another person. But you're doing them for yourself, by yourself, and then opening yourself to new possibilities. Does that make sense? If I would love to go to the movies, and I'm like, dang, I wish I had a partner so I could go watch movies with. If you go to the movies by yourself, and you're there by yourself, and you're sitting there chilling, maybe waiting outside the theater, waiting for your movie to start, just enjoying the night, enjoying the day, enjoying the evening. Maybe you're waiting for some popcorn. What's not to say someone's going to come up to you, introduce themselves. Like, hi, I just saw you here, like, I really liked your outfit, really like this, or hey, you're looking really cute, I thought I would come introduce myself. You just unlocked new possibilities for interactions. You unlock new possibilities to meet people. But if you never went out, if you never did these activities that you wanted to do, you just stay home, how is it that you're going to run into anyone? How is it that you're going to meet new people? Maybe they're working somewhere, and you go into their work of establishment, and you strike up a conversation, and you get their number, you get their Instagram. You never know. Possibilities are endless. You never know what can happen. But if you don't allow yourself to experience and to put yourself in new situations and new environments, how do you ever expect for those possibilities to come about? Radiate that energy, and that energy will come back to you. You're alone at the movie theater, someone comes up to you like, oh, you going on a date, waiting for a date? No, I'm here by myself. I just really wanted to watch a movie. Don't really have anyone to go with at this time or this day, so I thought I'd take myself. Oh, really? Me too. There you go. You just attracted someone with the same energy, with the same frequency, doing the same thing you're doing. Maybe they saw you sitting alone. They were sitting alone. They're like, fuck it. Let me go walk up to them. You got that opportunity because you were there. That possibility came about because you were there. So I know this was a lot. We talked about shadow work, learning to love yourself from working within, and therefore healing yourself and attracting new energy towards you. Because you yourself are in a new energy and a new frequency. Talking about how to manifest a soulmate by healing yourself. We talked about unconditional and conditional love. So I'd like to ask you guys some questions. What do you think about healing yourself from within to then attract better? How do you feel about conditional and unconditional love? Do you have it? Have you ever experienced it? Do you have examples? Please share them with me. I would like to know. Maybe open up my mind. And do you have any experience of trying out new things for yourself and then opening up new possibilities for yourself? That would have never happened if you never would have tried anything new. So with that being said, later, Sour Crew. Until next time. Bye.